Hello, I am Mabu and today I'm going to be showing how I made these wonderful quindins, a Brazilian pudding like dessert. Start by grabbing 10.5 ounces of freshly grated coconut. If you do not have freshly grated, grab 3.5 ounces of the dry kind, unsweetened, shredded dry coconut. Add to that 1 cup of boiling water, stir and set it aside. It's gonna feel close enough to the freshly grated coconut. Then you're gonna grab a pan, put it on medium high, and you're gonna add 2.5 cups of sugar. Then you're gonna add 1.5 cup of water, and you're gonna stir. And you're gonna stir until it's going to get very hot. To be precise with you, 230 Fahrenheit. If you do not have a thermometer, I recommend that you grab one, you buy one. Otherwise, it's the same process that you use to make candy. In Portuguese culinary, we usually say ponto de fio forte, or when the string of the sugary water is strong. But I advise you to get a thermometer. It's easier and prevents lots of burns. My mom has a huge burn on her ankle. You have to be careful in the kitchen. In any case, let's go back to cooking. You're gonna grab the sugary water after it has reached 230 Fahrenheit, and you're just going to add 1 tablespoon of butter. And yes, I said add, not dance samba, not stir, not do anything. Just put the little butter there, relaxing and chilling. Cool. Then you're gonna grab 15 eggs. Yes, that's a lot of eggs. But wasn't 2.5 cups of sugar a lot of sugar as well? Well, things are finally starting to make some sense. So you're gonna separate the whites from the yolks. And if you look closely, I have here a bowl with a strainer. And I'm adding the yolks to the top of the strainer. Yes, that's very important. Why? Because the yolk is covered by a membrane, and that membrane, it's terrible. I don't know how else to say. Okay, let's be totally honest. I was trying to avoid saying this, but I'm gonna be honest with you. The membrane stinks. This is a very old recipe. It's great. I love it. And honestly, it tastes like my childhood. I remember drinking coffee with my mom. Yes, I know children don't drink coffee in many countries, but I did. And for me, it has the taste of my childhood. Now, that said, it wouldn't be a good childhood if you didn't strain the membrane that covers the yolk, because that membrane stinks. And what is responsible for flavor is not just the taste, but also the sense of smell. And if you let that membrane pass through, your dessert is going to feel too eggy-like, not in a good way. And I speak for personal experience, not in a good way. So when you pass the egg yolk through the strain, you're just going to let it pass. You're not going to squeeze. I'm not squeezing it against the strainer. No. All the membranes that are covering the egg are staying behind. Cool? Awesome. And at the end of that, you're going to end up having around 10.5 ounces of beautiful orangey-like yolk. They say it's yellow, but honestly it's more orangey-like in my opinion. And it already looks like the dessert of my childhood. By the way, do you have any dessert that reminds you of your childhood? Leave in the link in the comments below. I would love to hear. Now we're gonna start incorporating the many ingredients that we have prepared so far. We're gonna grab the hydrated coconut to the sugary water with the butter. Oh, and by the way, the sugary water is already room temperature. After all, when we're adding the yolks to it, we don't want to cook them. Well, just not yet. And the not yet is at least 10 hours not yet. Let me tell you, because the yolk needs to like really fuse around with all the remainder of the ingredients for you to get the pudding-like consistency. Otherwise, your quindim is not going to be very successful. In a perfect world, thanks to refrigeration, you can leave it for 24 hours and the taste is going to be divine, which is what I recommend you to do. Leave it overnight, seed the quindim mixture the next day. Cool? Then you're gonna grab little molds. Here I'm using 3 inches of diameter, I think. Yeah, I use 3-inch diameter molds, and I preheated the oven to 350 Fahrenheit, and here I'm covering them with corn syrup because a good quindim is a glossy one, kind of like when a woman just finished doing her manicure or getting her manicure done. They have to be really glossy and beautiful and sugary. It's perfect. Cool. And then after you cover all the molds with this corn syrup or honey, whatever one you feel like using, maybe even maple syrup, you put them in a bain-marie, which is pretty much putting them in another container with water and cooking them. And after 1 hour and a half, you're gonna get them looking like this. The top is all golden and yummy. You also need to remove them from their molds while they're still warm, otherwise you're gonna have to heat them up to remove them. Okay? Enjoy! If you like this recipe as much as I do, give it a thumbs up, like, share, and I'll see you next time in the kitchen. Bye!